All right, Islamic clarification. What do you want to clarify?
Hi, how are you? I hope you're good. I was listening to the argument of uh, not preservation of the Quran, and I was surprised by how weak the argument is. Isn't? Don't you get the reference from Bukhari and Muslim that we have multiple recitations of the Quran? We have seven recitations, and the qira'at come from those seven recitations. So is it something that you're pretending that the Muslims did not know, or did not we author these books, or our scholarship, or did they not print these books, or we don't need, or we don't know about the multiple recitations of the Quran, and we still say that it is perfectly preserved. So the argument which you're bringing, we already are aware of it. If you don't know about the qira'at, then it's not our fault, or you have an assumption that the qira'at should be preserved only the way of Hafs and Asim and Tariq al-Shatibi, not any other way.
Okay, so did you watch the whole video?
I watched a part of it, especially the last argument where you were mentioning
Okay,
some
so
variations.
hold on. I allowed you to speak. Now it's my time. So you did not watch the whole presentation, yes?
No, I did not watch it.
Okay. Because you did not watch the whole presentation, you don't even know what my argument is. So I'm going to give you the argument in a very short manner right now, okay? And if you have any doubt, ask me afterwards. So when I'm giving you a summary of these two streams that we did, this is part two, write it down when I'm speaking. Okay, don't interrupt me when I'm providing the argument. All right, and then write it down. So last time we did the part one, I showed everyone that according to the collection of the Quran, there are verses missing, there are chapters missing, there are many surahs missing, and total Quran is supposed to be over 17,000 verses. Right now we have 6,000. This is what we showed last time, and I showed all the evidences where it is. Now this time around, and then I showed that Quran is supposed to be in seven ahruf, Sabah ahruf, because that's what Muhammad said. And Jibreel came and gave the Quran in seven different ahruf. With that being said, this time in this particular live stream, I am showing that how this seven ahruf became one harf. How? Then when first Abu Bakr collected the Quran, he made one Quran. Then Uthman took that Quran and he actually asked Zaid bin Haritha to write it in the Quraishi dialect. So Zaid bin Haritha had the authority to do whatever, because he said the rest of the three people, because there were only four people, not more than four. This is how it is written, and the names are written. And then Zaid bin Haritha had the authority to do whatever he wants to and put whatever word he wants to, because supposedly Quran was given in the Quraishi dialect, which is negating that Quran came in seven dialect. But that is what it's written in your Bukhari, that Uthman said Quran came in the Quraishi dialect. So Uthman already rejected the seven dialect issue. Now, third point. At that particular time, Uthman actually made sure that all the Quranic Musafs, including the whole copies or the partial copies, should be burned. So Uthman actually removed all the evidences of the seven qira'ats or the seven ahruf, not qira'ats, ahruf. Then comes that you have one copy and that copy does not have any diacritical marks nor the dots. And then what happened is every single person, no matter where he is, when they are adding the dots, they added dots in their location where they thought it is most convenient to put. For example, I showed you chapter number 33, verse number 36, where one wrote Kabira, one wrote Kasira. So Allah either sent a huge curse or Allah sends many curses. We do not know, because somebody puts the dot up, somebody puts the dot down, because nobody has the seven ahruf of the Quran. Then I'm showing Mu'ajjam al-Qira'at, the different qira'ats. And then I showed from this book that Surah Ikhlas, which is one of the biggest important surah for you guys, which has only 4 verses, how that is actually have so many variations at this moment that we can see. So there is no seven qira'ats of the Quran that is preserved, because Uthman kind of made sure of it, quotes in quotes. He burned it. And then you do not have any Quran, early Quran, which has diacritical marks until the 10th century. So even the 10th century Quran that you have, which is called the Bru Quran, that does not have dots or diacritical marks on top of it. And now we are here where we have a very small portion of Quran remaining, and that Quran has so many variations because of how the dots and the diacritical marks were being marked at. This is the total presentation of the two different parts that we did. What is your question now?
First of all, I'll go to the first point which you mentioned that there were 17,000 verses. Actually, just a small heretic group believes that. And yeah, that group came and they believed that the real Quran was lost. And that's a very small heretic group. The
So Bukhari
majority
is heretic? When he is writing, Bukhari is writing that many chapters are missing. Sitta, even in Ibn Majah, then you have Nisai, many chapters are missing, many verses are missing, many surahs are missing. Surah
the
as
one,
big as Surah Baqarah is missing. Surah Barat is
Bara'a.
supposed to be 143 verses. Now it has only 76 verses and so on and so forth.
Yeah, those verses which are mentioned in Bukhari, it's not Baqarah, it's Bara'a, that hadith, it is because this was abrogated. And the
Okay, so
part
there
of
are
abrogation is
then I can
mentioned
say
within
there
the
are
Quran
8,000
itself.
verses which are abrogated. Same thing. It doesn't even matter how many abrogated. You don't
No,
have the proper number how many abrogated.
see, whatever was abrogated, it is mentioned in the Quran, I think, chapter 2,
No, so
verse
if it is
6
mentioned
or
in
7,
Quran, then it is not
that,
abrogated. So number one, listen
no,
to me very carefully. If it is in the
the
Quran,
abrogation is
then
mentioned in the
there's not
Quran.
then it is not abrogated. It is abrogated. It is not abrogated in recitation. So can you tell me how many verses are abrogated in recitation?
The amount of verses which have been abrogated are not 8,000 or
I'm
whatever.
asking you a
That
simple
number
question.
is
Tell
not
me how
proven
many
that.
verses are abrogated in recitation.
It doesn't matter. What was not abrogated
It
and what was
matters. It
established is
matters.
with us.
It matters. How many verses? Give me the number of verses that are abrogated in recitation, not in hukam. The ones who are abrogated in hukam, I have them in the Quran that they are abrogated in hukam. I want to know how many verses are abrogated in recitation.
See, let me clarify to you what I'm trying to say. In the Quran, it is mentioned, "Ma nansakh min ayatin aw nunsiha."
I know
Okay.
that I showed it last time. I'm asking you a
Yeah.
simple question. Do not
So
do
the
not
ones which
preach
were
the choir.
abrogated,
I am asking you a simple thing. How
the
many
ones which were,
verses have been abrogated in recitation? Please answer that question.
we did not record the verses which were abrogated, and God made us forget the verse which were
So,
abrogated in
how many
recitation.
verses are abrogated in recitation?
This is what I'm telling you. There's no record of it. What
Okay,
were abrogated because it was
so they
abrogated,
can be
it was
50,000.
forgotten.
So, can they
No,
be 50,000?
no, no,
How?
no.
If they are forgotten from your mind, how can they not be 50,000?
See, the thing is, the ones which were abrogated,
Mr.
they,
Islamic clarification, I have a
yeah.
very simple question. If
No,
they
I'm
were
trying
forgotten
to
from their
answer
mind, why can't they be 50,000?
because that's a very big number compared to the ones which
So
are
they
there,
can, okay, it can be
and
very big
the
number. Where
abrogation
does
did
it
not
say
happen for the
where
whole
does it say it
revelation.
needs
It
where does
occurred
it say it
partially
needs to
for some
be a
things.
very small number?
See, it is something logical. Even if the hadith which you are mentioning
So
about the
logical. So can it, so how, what is the percentage you think is logical that is forgotten?
see, we don't have the record of the ones which were
Because it's
abrogated
forgotten,
because
right?
it was forgotten, and it was
Okay, it
forgotten,
was
and
forgotten.
this
So
and it was
okay,
forgotten
it was
by the
forgotten.
will of
So
God
listen,
and
listen,
by
listen, listen.
His
Listen,
attestation.
I have a very, this is very important. So you are telling me that you do not know how many verses are gone from the Quran because they are forgotten. Yes?
Forgotten due to abrogation. We should not
Does
miss this important point.
whatever I'm asking you, dude, I am asking you a simple question. Do you have a record about the verses which are forgotten?
Forgotten due to abrogation? No.
No, no record. Okay. So so basically anybody can make up any number and say this is how many verses are forgotten because you do not have a record.
No, they cannot make it. They should validate that number, right?
I,
And
how
search it.
can they validate a number when you do not have a record of it?
Yeah, then even the one who
Okay,
makes
so
it by himself is
how many
not
verses are
verifiable.
forgotten? How many verses are forgotten?
We've discussed already this part, I think.
So basically, it can be 50,000, it can be 10,000, it can be 8,000, it can be 5,000, it can be a million. Nobody
It cannot
knows.
be that much. It
It
cannot be
can
that much.
be, it can be over 10,000 very easily. How many verses in the Quran right now?
More than 6,000.
6,300, 300 something, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
Okay,
something like that.
6,400. Let's make a round figure. 6,400. How many years did Muhammad receive revelation?
23.
23 years. How many days are in a year?
That is, I think this is the Islamic one, the lunar calendar.
Okay. How many?
It has, I think
340? 340 something,
50,
right?
50, 50, yeah.
350. According to 350 days in a year, you have 23 years of Muhammad. A verse in the Quran is 6,400. Muhammad was receiving zero point 0.7 verse, zero point 0.7 verse every day. That is stupidity. So basically, if Muhammad is receiving at least 2 to 3 verses per day, which is very easy because sometimes Muhammad was receiving the whole surah in one go, which had like 10, 15 verses. Sometimes he's receiving 3 or 4 verses at the same time. So basically, very easily, at Quran could be at least 3 or 4 times the size of the Quran right now. So by definition, Quran has lost at least 21,000 verses or 20,000 verses based on this very fact that Muhammad could have received at least 2 to 3 verses
See,
every day.
uh,
Right now, the current Quran has zero point 0.7 verse per day, which doesn't even make sense.
no, see, the thing is, the way you're trying to calculate it is completely invalid,
No,
and
it
it
is very valid.
contradicts the
It is
recorded
very, very
tradition.
valid.
It
It
is
is very, very valid. So I am giving a simple
contradicting the
maths.
recorded tradition.
I am doing a simple math. So prove me that no, there were only 300 verses that are removed from the Quran. Proved it.
See, the ones which were forgotten, we don't have
Thank
maybe
you.
the
Then
exact.
why are you arguing about
Yeah,
that? So
yeah, but
okay.
it is
If
not
there are
somehow saying
verses, if
numbers
there are
like
verses,
10,000 or
okay, listen,
8,000.
listen, listen. You don't worry about 20,000 now. So whatever X, let's put an X there. X number of verses has been forgotten. Correct?
It doesn't matter how many have been forgotten. It
So
has been
then why are you
forgotten.
why from the last 10 minutes you are arguing that it cannot be 20,000?
See, I'll tell you something. When you say it's 20,000, that means that the most of the Quran has been forgotten. That's not the
Yeah,
fact.
most of the Quran
Yeah,
has been forgotten.
these verses were
Prove
forgotten.
me that most of the Quran has
It's
not been forgotten.
See, a part of the Quran was abrogated, and we know about it. And
What
what is
I know is that you do not have a record of it. So it can be any number. And based on the simple maths, at least twice the size of the Quran has been forgotten.
no,
That's simple maths.
that does
So
not
you
correlate
are
with
telling me that your prophet was not even getting one verse a day.
there was no see the verses. There was no specific frequency at which the prophet would receive
So
verses. He would
so
receive them
basically I'm
very
saying that Allah should have sent
time.
at least bare minimum one verse a day on the average one verse a day, because if he's not speaking with him for 2 days, he might have given him 3 4 verses at the same time.
Nothing necessary. It's that he will
Okay,
receive
so
such number of
according to the
verses in such
siyasata,
a
according to
period of time.
siyasata, listen, according to siyasata, how many verses are approximately forgotten?
See, there is no. See, there is a mention of
All right,
abrogation,
so
forgetfulness
I need to
because of
change the topic
abrogation.
because obviously you are an idiot. So, guys, listen to me very carefully. Let's finish this topic. There are some percentage, X percentage of the Quran that nobody knows. That is first point. All
That's
right,
not
that's
part
first
of
point.
the Quran.
Let's move
Abrogated
to the
part
second
is not
point.
part of the Quran
Let's
anymore.
move to the second point. Let's move to the second point. Now, the second point is the Quran that you have remaining after Muhammad, which is supposedly quotes and quotes not abrogated, who collected it according to your own narrative?
It was collected through basically uh, the primary collection was done by Abu Bakr, who collected it,
Okay, Abu
but
Bakr.
it
Did
was
Abu Bakr wrote the Quran in the seven ahruf?
the seven ahruf were retained even after Uthman.
I'm asking you, did
Yeah,
Abu Bakr collected
yeah.
the Quran in seven ahruf?
I'm telling you, of course. But I'm telling
Okay,
you
of
the
course. Listen,
Hifz or retained
listen. Shh, shh.
during the time of
Hush,
Uthman, Mus'haf
hush, hush.
has the
So what
variations
you
of
are
this.
telling me, what you are telling me, that the Musaf that Abu Bakr collected, each and every verse is written in 7 dialects, correct?
It should be, yeah.
It should be. Okay, perfect. So if Abu Bakr has written in 7 dialects, that is 6,400 multiplied by 7, correct?
Not necessarily, because a lot of words are
Necessarily.
same also in the dialects, yeah.
You don't know.
The
You don't have it
variations,
right now. You don't have
no,
it right now, so you don't know. So please stop it. So now there are 44,800 verses in the Quran supposedly. Now when Abu Bakr died and Umar died and Uthman came into power, why did he not use the Quran that was collected by Hafsa, Abu Bakr and given to Hafsa and use it as is?
the reason is because he wanted to make one dialect, which was the Qurayshi
So,
dialect, common.
so basically, you are
Yeah,
telling me
but he
Uthman
retained.
destroyed the rest of the dialects and kept only one dialect.
See, the qira'at they take from all the dialects. If you're trying to emphasize
So
this point,
Uthman destroyed every other dialect and kept
the
only
written
one
form,
dialect, which is the
the
Qurayshi dialect, correct?
yeah, yeah. See, the reason was he wanted wanted the non-Arabs to just try to study one dialect because the
So
non-Arabs it was
Uthman
already an
destroyed. So Uthman destroyed
no,
all the
he had
dialects and kept one
no.
dialect.
The Mus'haf al-Uthmani was uh, had recorded the variations of the
So
dialects, but
once
they
again,
standardized one.
Did
Yeah,
Usman destroyed all the dialogue and created one dialogue which is the Quraishi Musaf, Quraishi dialect?
yeah. If you say destroyed means
Yeah.
they were
So
removed completely, no, it was not. It was
so
still retained. Yeah, but he standardized it and he
it was still
enforced one
retained. Did
dialect.
Usman retained it? Yes or no?
Yes,
Usman
one.
retained it.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So that the
Let's
non-Arabs
see if
had to
Usman
study
retained
only one
it.
dialect.
Let's read the hadith. It says, if you have any difference in opinion, then write it in the Quraishi dialect according to Zaid bin Tabat. In case you disagree with Zaid bin Tabat on any point of the Quran, then write it in the dialect of Quraysh. The Quran was revealed in their tongue. Did Uthman maintain all the dialect or kept only one?
Here, this is the standardization.
Did
Standardization.
Uthman removed all the dialect and kept
No,
only one?
the one which he wanted to spread was the Qurayshi dialect. This is
So
what I've
did
told
Uthman
already because
removed all the dialects and kept only one
for
in
the
Uthmani
people, for
Quran?
the people, for the
Did
people. Yeah,
Uthman removed all the dialects from his Quran and kept only one?
we have already discussed this. I don't know why you're
Did
repeating the question again.
Uthman kept only one dialect and removed the others right in front of you according to this hadith? Yes or no?
We already discussed that he retained the Qurayshi dialect
Ye-
for the people,
Yeah.
so they have to
So
study just
say
one,
it, Uthman
especially for the
only
non-Arabs.
kept one dialect. Yes.
If you're saying the other six dialects are lost, that's false.
I will talk about that later. Did Uthman kept only one dialect, which is Quraishi dialect?
For the provinces, yes, yeah,
Did Uthman created multiple Qurans or was one Quran only?
one.
Thank you. Did he removed all the dialects from the and kept only one dialect? Yes or no?
Yeah,
He
he
retained only
standardized
one.
the
Thank you
Qurayshi
so very
dialect.
much. Now, what he did with the rest of the Qurans? They did so, and when they had written many copies, Uthman returned the original manuscript to Hafsa. Uthman sent to every Muslim province one copy, whether written, but he has written and copied and ordered. What was the order? That all the other Quranic materials, whether written in fragmentary manuscript or the whole copies be burned. So now, did Uthman burned all the rest of the Qurans, whether partially written or complete copies? Did he burn that?
After recording it in his Mus'haf, yeah,
So
this is
then
what he did. Yeah,
obviously he retained only one Quranic variation that is called the Quraishi dialect. So he removed all the other dialects, burned them. Thank you so very much. I proved my point. So that's the reality when he says that there are seven dialects. The seven dialects were finished at the time of Uthman only.
No, no,
Now
they were not
he
finished.
doesn't. Yeah,
Actually, see,
now
you
you are
just
waiting. You are thinking what to say. And when I was quiet, you weren't still thinking, what will I answer? Because it's right in front of you that he burned all the other manuscripts, whether fragments, partial, or whole Quran.
after he corrected them and he
He
standardized
did
one.
not correct any of them.
See,
He just put out a
dear
Quraishi
Adam,
dialect. He
Adam, I'll
put
tell you,
out a Quraishi dialect and then he burned all the rest.
see, what I'm trying to say is that this is something which you already discussed. If you just
I
see
don't
the
care.
title
You came here
before,
again. Forget that. Did he burn all the rest of the copies or yes or no?
this is what see. But when you're saying that when
Did he burn all the rest of the Quran, whether partial or the whole copies? Yes or no?
yeah, he burned it, he burned them. Yeah,
And what did he write the Quran in? Quraishi dialect, correct?
Quraishi dialect. Yeah,
So basically, the rest of the six dialect he destroyed. So where is the rest of the six dialect coming? Nowhere. When the Quran was written, there was no dots, there was no titles, there were no diacritical marks. Then people started writing the diacritical marks, the dots later, and now you have over 40 Qurans, not the seven dialects, because
see,
Uthman made sure that Muhammad's dialects will be removed. He made sure of that.
see. Uh, you don't. I believe that you're not allowing me to complete my point. See, the thing is,
You made your point. I just showed it to you that your point is bogus according to your own hadith that you accept.
see, the retention of the Qurayshi dialect was so that the non-Arabs could not do not have to study multiple dialects where learning Arabic itself or learning in one dialect itself was a big effort. So for that ease and standardization, he just retained one dialect, which is the
So
Qurayshi dialect.
that
And and in the
did I
hadith of
ask you
seven
why?
wait,
Did I ask?
let me
Listen,
complete.
did I ask you why he did that? No, I did not. My
Yeah,
question
let
is
me
different.
complete it. Let me complete.
Did he burn all the rest of the manuscripts? Yes or no?
Yes, yeah.
Thank you.
That's
So he
yeah.
destroyed all the rest of the dialects.
See, okay, even okay. Let me just give you this point. Even if I give you this point, the Prophet ﷺ, he said that if you get one harf, if you get one harf, you have achieved the whole of it.
Mr.
The
Islamic
study.
clarification. I'm asking you, did Usman destroyed all the seven Ahruf
We have already
except one?
discussed the same thing many times.
Then
I don't
say
know why you're
yes.
asking me that. We've already agreed to this
Okay.
part. I
Then
don't
wait.
know
Okay.
why
So
you keep
now
repeating
you
this.
agree with
I don't
me
understand it.
that now you agree with me that Uthman burned all of them except kept only one. Then how do you have difference like Kabira and Kasira?
These are from the Qira'at. See, this is what I
No
try
Kirat.
to.
Usman burned the Kirat. Usman
No, no.
burned the Kirat. After
Does
Uthman, 200 years later, 300 years later, somebody is putting the dots on the top, it makes Kasira. Somebody put the dot on the bottom, it made Kabira. Uthman made sure of that. There is no other dialect. Now there is no dialect. It is the people who are putting the dots.
see, you're strawmanning the whole
I am
preservation
not
of the Quran.
strawmanning. I'm just showing how
Strawmanning
it
the
has
whole.
happened, and
See,
you
you,
just okay. Listen, if
you're
Uthman burned the
pretending that
Quran,
something
if
happened and
Uthman
then you're
burned the Quran,
correcting it. This is exactly what
if
is strawmanning.
Uthman if Uthman burned the Qurans, how did somebody find out that Kabira and Kasira both were the dialects?
This is what you already mentioned. That see, there were the Quran was transferred through oral tradition.
No,
There
it
were a lot
wasn't.
of
It was
scholars
not.
of Quran.
It was not.
It,
It was
it
not.
was
It was
transferred
not.
through oral
It
tradition.
was not. It was not. It was written tradition.
No, no, oral tradition.
No,
Written
it was
was
written tradition.
there was written and there was oral, and the
No, there
oral
was no
was
oral. Everything that was oral was destroyed and finished
no, no. That's not the
because
case.
all the people died in the battle of Yamama. And now he is writing and he used only four people
Not
and
all.
nobody has the full
A
Quran
lot of
memorized.
a lot
Nobody has the full Quran memorized.
of those.
Nobody has the full Quran
No,
memorized.
how do you? What's? Give me evidence that nobody had the full Quran memorized.
Okay, then if people had the full Quran memorized, why Ibn Khuzaima, the only person who had two verses, chapter number 9, verse number 128, 129, 126, 127? Why?
Can you repeat the point again about Ibn
If
Khuzaymah?
there are a lot of people who had memorized the Quran, then why Ibn Khuzaimah was the only witness to give the Quran, chapter number 9, verse number 128, 129?
Sh- uh, Show me the reference for this. I'm not familiar with this point. Let me just.
When Abu Bakr collected the Quran, many people died in Yamama who had some of the reciters. And then Abu Bakr picked the people. Hey, do you know some? Do you know some? Do you know some? Do you know some? And the Quran, chapter number 9, verse number 128, 129, was taken only from Zaid bin Tabat, sorry, Khuzaima, Ibn Khuzaima, the only witness of these two verses. Why? If so many people have memorized it, why these two verses were taken from only one guy?
This is about manuscripts. It's not about that.
If
Let,
so many people had memorized the Quran, the first collection of Quran by Abu Bakr, why Ibn Khuzaimah is the only witness of these two verses?
this is about the manuscript. But see,
It is
there
not
was
about the manuscript. Manuscript has not been made yet. When Abu
no,
Bakr is collecting the
for
first Quran, which will go to Hafsa later, that manuscript, why Ibn Khuzaimah is the only witness for these two verses of the Quran if there are so many Hafiz who has memorized the whole Quran?
this is about the written one,
It
and
is
even this hadith.
okay. Guys, is it about the written one or is it being writing? Is it being writing at this time? I hate the people who would see the evidence in front of them and then they will keep on regurgitating their own stupidity, whereas I am showing on the screen that this is when Abu Bakr said writing the Quran down is as difficult as is more difficult than moving a mountain. He is writing the Quran for the very first time, and he said even Muhammad did not write the Quran. Even Muhammad did not write the Quran in one book. And now there is only one guy who knows these two verses, and he's saying there were many Hafiz a Quran, who had memorized the whole Quran. There is nowhere in the Islamic scripture that you will find that there are many Hafaz of the Quran at the time of Uthman or Abu Bakr. Nobody knows what the full Quran is at that time. Why these people regurgitate the same thing again and again, even when they have the evidence in front of them? Can you please answer me that, any of you, Andrew or Chase?
I think I'm guessing the argument that he was making was that, oh, well, these weren't memorized. This was about the manuscripts. But that makes
It wasn't
things
about the
worse.
manuscript. This is the manuscript is being right now. The manuscript is being written. It is not even written yet. Ibn
Right.
Khuzaimah only is the only guy who had these two verses. Then
Yeah.
it means
Well,
there is not a single person who has the full Quran memorized at that time.
yeah, that's the problem, because if you say that this is about the manuscript, then not even Khuzaima had it memorized, so nobody had those two verses memorized. It was just written, so that would be a bit of an issue.
Because if it is already written, then there is an evidence of written. It
Right.
is the memory right now. So I think he has thought about another pretzel show that he wants to give. Let me give him that. Okay. So did you think about something else now?
No, I just want to. I want you to scroll it up. Yeah, okay, actually. So I started compiling the Quran by collecting it from the leafless stalks and date palm trees. This is what was written. It was not like, so for that it is mentioned. It's not what you're trying to imply that only one guy just came and he just
Keep on reading.
from the pieces of leather and hides from the stones and from the chests of men who had memorized the
Okay. So
Quran.
from the people who has memorized the verses which are not even written in those things. Okay. Next.
I found the last verses of Surah At-Tawbah. This is mistake. Sirat. Okay, verily there has come unto you an apostle from amongst yourself, from Khuzaima or Rabbi Khuzaima, and I added it to the rest of the surah. See, the thing
Okay.
is,
So these two verses were not with 10 people. They were only with one guy.
No, the group who were collecting it. It's not. See again. If
Abu
even if you go
Bakr,
side,
no, listen. Abu Bakr is collecting it from everyone. So he's asking everyone, do you know some verses? Yeah, I know some verses. Do you know some verses? I know some verses. From the chest of people. In this one, it is the first time collection. This one is not limiting four people. Uthmanic manuscript is limiting four people. Here, Abu Bakr is collecting it from everyone's chest that he can find of. It says from the chests of the men, because not everything was written. Some things were in the chest of the men. So these two verses have only one guy that has in the chest. The rest of the people does not have in the chest. Otherwise, this guy's name was not mentioned solo. Why is not any other verses mentioned? None of them, only these two. Now, these two were only with Abi Khuzaima.
you want me to reply now? See, basically, even using this argument, even the verses which were brought from the group which were collecting the Quran, not all of the Muslim body, they have recorded even the number of even these verses which were brought from one person. So this is actually a testification, something which testifies the preservation of the Quran more than the loss,
Islamic
as
clarification, you
you're trying to
silly.
imply.
You do not even know how many verses were in the Quran to begin with. If Abi Khuzaima knows just these two verses or he knows some other verses, we don't even know
From,
how many are
from
missing
the
right now
party who were collecting the
because it
Quran,
is
they
from
were
the.
Muslims all over. See, let me tell you.
I did not finish my sentence. You interjected. So Abu Bakr is collecting it from the chest of the men. Nobody knows how many verses are there. Some people are saying some verses, some people are saying some verses, some people are saying some verses, some people are saying some verses. And then Abi Khuzaima gave two verses, which was put in chapter number 9. We don't know where it's supposed to be because it is only Abi Khuzaima who knows that. You do not know what are the total number of verses because none of the people had memorized the whole Quran. None of them has memorized the whole Quran. Give me one single person who had memorized the whole Quran. Give me one. One person who
Salim,
has memorized the whole Quran.
Salim Mawla Hudhaifa, Zayd bin Thabit,
Okay.
Abdullah bin Mas'ud.
Okay. Is Zaid bin Tabat alive at the time of Abu Bakr when he is collecting the Quran?
He's the one who's collecting the Quran. He's the one
He
who's
is not.
collecting the
Oh
Quran in
my
the hadith,
goodness.
which you're the one which you're quoting.
I'm going to kick you out right now. You are talking about Uthmani collection. I'm not talking about Uthmani collection. I'm talking about Abu Bakr collection. This is Abu
Wait,
Bakr collection. Okay.
read the hadith
At
which is
this
in front of
time,
you.
at
Adam,
the
read the.
time of Abu Bakr, is Zaid bin Tabat alive?
Yes.
Okay. Why does this hadith says that these two verses were only collected by Zaid ibn Khuzaima? If it was with Zaid bin Tabat as well had memorized these two verses, it should not be written it as is.
See, I'll just shorten it because I have my work in a very short period of time.
I know you need to run away, but that's not the
No,
point.
no,
I have asked
it
you a
is.
simple
If I
question.
were running away, I
If
would not have
Zaid
come.
bin Tabat also had memorized this, so Abu Bakr was asking the people to give me the verses from your chest. Why this verse was given only from Abi Khuzaima, not by Zaid bin Tabat, not by Ibn Masud, not by anybody else?
First of all, this idea of collection was assigned to Zayd bin Thabit. It was not like when he's
Okay, bye
collecting all
bye.
the Quran.
Bye bye. It wasn't given to Zaid bin Tabat. Get lost. Idiot. I kicked him out. It wasn't given to Zaid bin Tabat. It is the Abu Bakr collection. It wasn't given to Zaid bin Tabat. Zaid bin Tabat collection was given by Uthman. He gave Zaid bin Tabat the authority. The stupid part is he knows what is happening here. I have spoken with this guy in my Urdu chats. He knows what I'm talking about. The pretzel show now is like he's joining the two. Why? Because he doesn't have an argument over here right now. He doesn't have it. So the only way to create a pretzel show was just mix the two and say stupid things. Like there is a level where I cannot tolerate lies, and this is the level where the lies are done. Yeah, give him a timeout. Protestant believer, give random Muslim, he's the Islamic clarification, give him a timeout. Give him like a timeout of so that he can go to Makkah. Let me just do that myself. There you go. Go. Idiot.
Oh, random Muslim. That random Muslim's the same guy who
Yeah, he's
just came
Islamic
on.
clarification. He has like multiple channels. He's random Muslim, Islamic clarification, he's so many things.
Okay.
He's a big fat liar. Idiot. So I like imagine I gave him all the evidences, but if you want to keep on regurgitating whatever you believe, there is no point in having a discussion. Stop regurgitating what you believe. Read what it says. Zaid bin Thabit was alive. If Zaid bin Thabit was alive, why this hadith is saying these two verses were taken only from Ibn Khuzaimah, Abi Khuzaimah. So nobody has the full memorization of the Quran. Nobody whatsoever. Nobody.